Hey guys and gals, Redfish Ross here, and have had some questions about my kayak setup. And as you can see, I don't think you can see, the weather is just horrendous. It's been raining and storming for 2 days, so I figured this would be a good time to do a video and answer the questions about how I have my kayak set up. So anyway, here we go. Well, I guess we'll start with my camera mount, which is this. And this is a Kayak camera pole, and I use it in the kayak and the boat. It's really neat. It spins, but it has tension so that it doesn't just flop around, act crazy, and works really well. From this angle, I can cover the whole front of the boat and everything that's happening up in here, including catching fish and whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm real happy with that. Behind the seat is where I keep my tackle box. This seat is really, really nice. I really like this. I can fish pretty much all day out of this thing. Never have any back problems or anything like that. Then I added this this under seat deal, which is really handy. I keep lures. The biggest majority of the lures that I use most of the time, I keep underneath this seat, along with a measuring thing, fish grips, lippers, pliers. It just makes it really, really handy having that stuff right there. This is a Slayer Propel 13 by Native Watercraft, and been really, really super happy with it. It was a toss-up between this and a Hobie, but the fact that you can go forward or reverse was really well, there's two things. That was really big, because being able to go in reverse is unbelievably handy. And this thing here is like, I mean, it's super, super strong. You can hit logs, you can hit oyster reefs, you can do a lot of stuff, and you're not going to tear it up. With the Hobie, with the fins, they're a little bit delicate. I don't know. I've seen videos where those fins have been cut by fishing line when a fish runs into the boat. So I'm not an expert on Hobies, but that don't sound too good. Anchor trolley, really, really handy. You can set your anchor to the front, to the middle, to the back, wherever you want to put it. The rod holders, you got many options there. There's one fixed one over there. Rudder here for steering. It's quite a bit of storage. I keep my PFV up here. The trailer, this trailer I'm really, really happy with. This boat weighs 85 pounds before you put anything in it, and it's not a great weight, but it's if you're going to wrestle it in and out of the back of a pickup, it can get heavy and bulky. So this little trailer works great, and you can get close to anything you want. And of course, cranking it up is just like there's nothing there, basically. The paddle holder, I fought this one for a while. I had paddle holders here. I had them in the back over there. There was really just wasn't a good spot to put the paddle. one of the things I kind of wrestled with. Well, I finally ended up using these, which fold down out of the way when you're not. If you're using the paddle, you can fold them down out of the way. And this got it where it was easy to get to, and also it was out of the way. So that worked out pretty good. My milk crate, pretty much standard milk crate, keep all kinds of stuff in there, but this anchor I keep up front when I'm fishing. I just got it in there now for storage. But I keep tackle, I keep a little ice chest for drinks and all that stuff in there. The rod holders themselves, hang on. The rod holders themselves, you buy this whole kit and it mounts to any milk crate. It's really neat. Made by Yak Attack. And of course you bungee it down so it doesn't come out. But if you're a right-handed fisherman, I learned this the hard way. You want to make sure you put these on the left side of your boat so that when you're casting you don't end up hanging a rod or something back here and end up with a mess, which I did one time, and then I realized the error of my ways and moved it. Little non snag net works good. This is a really stable boat, and I've had it in some pretty rough water without problems. One thing that I wish they had designed a little better was a way to carry it on a carrier. You can buy a carrier that fits this slot here where you drop your lower unit in, and it's like $240, which is a lot of money, and it's in an awkward spot to try to put it in there. So anyway, getting on YouTube, started searching for answers to how to build one, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he came up with this deal. It works like a champ. These two 3-inch pieces of PVC, there's two tunnels underneath that boat that go all the way up, and you can set that boat on those PVC brackets there, and those things fit right up in those little tunnels and holds it steady. And it works really good. And you're only out, I think the carrier was like $49 for this, a universal carrier, and then you just bolt this on there for $3 or $4, whatever that PVC cost. But anyway, that worked real good. The other thing that, one thing that I just wish they'd have done a little bit different is this rudder, because it's a fixed rudder, and unlike the Hobie where you can flop it up here and get it out of the way, this thing stays there all the time. So you kind of got to be careful loading and unloading. I don't believe you could tear it up, but I wouldn't want to be dropping it the weight of the yak on that, or putting a whole lot of pressure on it. So anyway, I put a bunch of pad eyes, put some cleats that weren't there. It's just a pretty neat boat. And the other selling point on it to me was it's easy to paddle. I mean, you can paddle it like a regular yak. You pull this thing up in this position right here, and if anybody saw the white bass videos I did out of this yak this year, I got up so shallow this thing wouldn't run, which is really, really shallow. And I pulled it up, and this thing paddles like a dream. If you're in a Hobie Pro Angler, you're not paddling it much. You can paddle it with a regular oar, but if I was going to go with the Hobie, I'd go with the Outback because, like this boat here, you can paddle it. So that was to me, was another selling point to this boat. This boat is well built. I was amazed when I put some holes in, like to put this in, how thick the construction, the plastic was. It's a heavy duty boat. It would take, I don't think you could tear it up with a sledgehammer. This seat, fully adjustable to your whatever back you want to do. You loosen these, you loosen this, loosen that, you can move it forward, backward, however you want to go. This is a stakeout pole, and for when you're fishing in the flats, if you're in real shallow water, or relatively shallow water, and you don't want to mess with an anchor and fight all that, you can take this little jewel and clip it onto a cleat, pop it out of these holders, and just jam it into the bottom, and hold your yak still while you fight a fish, or if you get on a spot that's got fish and you don't want to drift through it or whatever. Makes it easy without having to mess with an anchor. The anchor system, which is pretty nice, these kayak anchors are set up. I've got this one set up where the main catch is on the bottom of the anchor, and then up here I've got two small tie wraps to hold that in place. And the purpose of this is, and I've hung up this anchor on some oyster reefs and been lucky enough to get it off. If you're hooked here with your main point and you hang this anchor, it is hard to get loose. If you got it set up this way, if you hang this anchor up, you can actually pull and bust these two loose. And when it does, your pulling point becomes here, and you can pull that anchor up and away from rocks, oysters, whatever it's hung on. That was a tip I got off YouTube. In fact, a lot of this stuff it came from YouTube. But yeah, that works real good. And you want to float so that if you get into something really big, you can cut loose. You can just pop your anchor loose, let it drag you wherever, and then go back and find your anchor. So that's about it. It's got some little storage stuff here for if you want to put your telephone or something, but I carry a dry box that slides right up underneath here that I put my billfold and keys and phone and all that stuff into. But it's pretty basic setup. I mean, just it's set up to fish, and that's about it. If you got any questions or comments, just put them in the comment section below where these videos are. I try to make it a point to answer anything that people ask. I think it's only right that if somebody asks, you should give them an answer. So anyway, this is the answer to some of the questions I've had about my kayak setup. I haven't been kayak fishing because springtime in Texas is lots and lots of wind. And it's been blowing 25, 30 miles an hour every day, even if it's not raining. And I can't wait for this wind to stop so I can start getting back out there in my kayak. I really, really enjoy kayak fishing. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I hope everybody has a great time fishing, catch a lot of fish, tight lines. See y'all later.